I'm trying to find like the best song possible for this video. So once I find it, we'll continue with the video and we'll show some awesome B-roll. Nah, that's not it. I think this is it. We'll wait for it to drop though. All right, welcome back to the gym. My name is Jay Cruz and you're watching Threefold Fitness. Man, it has been a minute since we did a review, but today we're not gonna do a review. We're gonna do a side-by-side comparison. My friend NoWayJose, I don't know whether you guys have seen his YouTube channel, but I've been his friend since starting this gym for like almost a year. We met on Instagram, it's crazy. But I will link you guys to his video. I will link you guys to his channel. If you could subscribe to him as well, that would be amazing. But he did a review on the Ghost version of this combo rack, and I'm just gonna do a general review, and then I'll kind of go through the comparison of the two and what's different about them, okay? All right, so first things first, it is a combo rack, so it does two different things. Primarily does two different things. Obviously, you can do many different things in it besides these two variations. This is both a squat rack and a bench rack, so you can do both of them. So you have the option of benching from this set of J-cups here or squatting from this set of J-cups here. This one is very similar to the Ghost combo rack in that the size is almost the same, so the width is exactly the same, it's about 80 inches, but the depth of it is about a foot difference in a length, and that's including the bench being in it. So width-wise, they're both about 80 inches. Depth-wise, I think that the Ghost one is about 67-ish inches deep, and this one's 77 inches deep. And the difference is this, and if this matters to you, it matters to me. If it matters to you, I'm gonna show you guys. But here in the back, the Ghost rack ends right at this bar that goes across. There is no extra foot section that goes beyond it. So this one has a little extra foot section here, and it also has the feet on top of that. And the reason why that's important is when you are squatting and you go to re-rack a bunch of weight and you drop it into the uprights, the whole thing tends to lean forward, or it hits the whole thing forward, and it will move it potentially. So this one, because of the extra leverage, it doesn't tend to move at all. So that's one of the advantages that this one has over the Ghost rack, is that it has that. The other thing that this has that the Ghost rack also has is a platform to help spot somebody on. You can easily just grab this, and if somebody's there benching and you need to spot them, it's very easy to do that because it's almost a deadlift position. So something else this has that's also similar on the Ghost is that it has band pegs so that you can put bands onto the bar. Let me show you that real quick. So the way I do it is I have two bands or two band pegs on here. I have one in the front and one in the back, and I will put them across both of them like this to get them on there. I'm not sure how everyone else does it, but there's multiple places to adjust it, where the Ghost one only has 3 band pegs and they're set, so you can't move them. On this one, you'll have to buy the band pegs because it doesn't come with band pegs, but you can place them at multiple varying lengths within the leg, both in the front and the back. Some of the other things that this has, that the Ghost one has, is it has these rollers on it, on both the squat J cups and the bench J cups. And if you look closely here, once you put the bar on there, these can roll back and forth, so you can adjust your bar back and forth between them. And they are made of some sort of PVC. The Ghost ones, when you buy that one originally, it will come with a metal J cup, and it actually has a return on it. I'll show you some video of that from Jose's video, but the return actually places it back to the front, so it's always in the same spot when you bench or squat from, but you will only have to adjust it side by side. So the difference between that and this one, and I've gotten used to it and it's not a big deal. I think that with the Ghost rack, you're paying, I didn't even talk about pricing, but the Ghost rack is like just over $6,000 and this is just under $3,000. So you get most of the features in this that you will in the Ghost rack, except for this one is half as much. So as I go along and you hear all the differences, you have to decide whether or not, double the price is worth it to you. So back to this. So on the Ghost, if you look right here, there is like a slight incline to the back that pushes the bar back to the front. What I tend to do is just roll it forward, and then from here, I will unrack and re-rack from that position. The thing that this has that the Ghost also has is it has the plastic protection both on the safety spotter arm and then in the places where you would re-rack. So the bar can hit this without hurting your bar because there's plastic on both of those, as well as on the fronts of those J cups. Now, what is so important about a combo rack? Somebody would say, why would I get a combo rack over just a standard, just full power rack? This is the advantage to it. If you are lifting with multiple people and somebody happens to have longer or shorter arms than you, you can easily adjust this by just using this lever here, and you can lift like that. And it will go up, I think 7 or 8 numbers it'll go up at a time, and it's very easy. I mean, you could put, well, let me do that right now. All right, now that we have put, said 495 pounds, 495 pounds on the bar, I'm gonna show you guys how easily this lever will still lift this much weight for even one person. The other thing that I would recommend is if you're doing this, you absolutely have to make sure that you have the clips on the ends to make sure the weight doesn't slide off, because when you elevate one side, it's gonna make the bar uneven. So even with this much weight on the bar, it is very easy to lift this one person. I'm strong, but like I'm not this strong. I couldn't do this typically. And you can easily raise it so that someone else, let's do both sides. It's one side, and there's the other side. So you can very easily adjust it for any type of lifter, whether there be shorter arms or longer arms, or on the top if you're squatting, somebody that is a foot taller than somebody else, but you're the same level of strength, you can raise it or lower it for multiple lifters. So that is the advantage of having this over just a standard power rack. And if you come around to this side, one of the cool things about this, as well as the Ghost, is that they both have laser cut numbers on the back, so you can put it exactly where you need to. It'd be the worst thing in the world to get it in there and then all of a sudden you're uneven and you try to either unrack the weights or you try to lift at all, then it's going to be uneven. But this ensures, I'm at 15 on this one and I'm on 15 on this one, that you can get it right the first time, because oftentimes even me with the laser cut, I still put a J cup in the wrong spot. I think my head's tilted to one way or the other, but that's just the way that it works. One thing that's different about this one that the Ghost has that this one doesn't have, it's very premium that you're going to be paying for the Ghost. The Ghost, if you come around to this side, if you look in here, you can see straight through this. The Ghost one has a wood insert that has the holes drilled out, so that when you stick this pin through here like this, you don't have to find the other end. Now, I will say that, I wouldn't say that it's a gimmick that they did that, but I will say that it's not that hard to find it with this. I could put it in here and not really even look. Well, I guess I have to look a little bit. And there's a little bit of, you know, jostling around, but for the most part, if you're putting this in, you can see it from this side, and it's pretty easy to get in. But on the Ghost one, because of that wood insert, you can just push it through and you don't even have to look. So I don't know whether that's worth, again, the extra $3,000 to you. I would love that feature. I think it's absolute, you know, everything to make your gym feel a little bit more premium is worth it to me. But I happen to get this one, so that was before Rogue acquired Ghost. So, you know, you live and you learn, right? One of the other differences that this has that the Ghost does not have, or you can say that this does not have that Ghost does have, is that they also have on the front, it's a pin adjustable height for the safeties. So the safeties have that same pin like this, which goes in through here to adjust the height of this. Now this one, I don't know whether you find this to be better or not. I actually like this. You just pull this pin here and you can lift it up and it automatically goes into the spot that you need it in. I'm not sure whether the Ghost one has numbers here or not. I'll have to check back on Jose's video to see whether it does. But this one is pretty easy. You can see how many holes are outside of the harness here for it. And you can tell how high you need to put it. Right now it's at 3. It goes pretty high. So if you're squatting and someone has really poor squat depth, they'll be spotted at a very high height. Another thing that this has that the Ghost does not have is it has these 1-inch holes on the back and on the sides of the footprint, I guess you could say, of it. And at first I was gonna place this bar holder that's right here on this rack back towards the center. I was gonna put it right here because it wouldn't impede the ability to get here and spot somebody. And it would be very convenient because this is my squat bar. So I would just put this on top to do squats, and then that would be my bench bar. But the problem is, and here's the part where I really feel like Rogue could have done a better job of innovating, and this is what the Ghost has over this 100%. This bench is not the easiest thing to move out. So Ghost's bench is right down the middle of this spacing right here. So the bar here, the upright, the Ghost leg sits right inside of the centerpiece here. Whereas this one, it actually sits behind this piece. So there's no way for you to bring this thing out that way unless you have 2 people and you lift it right in between this knob and this knob. That's the only way to pull it forward. So you absolutely have to move it back that way. Let me show you real quick what this looks like as a single person moving this out. It is very heavy because this overall is 500 pounds. So this is whatever percentage of that 500. But if you need one of these racks, then you should be strong enough to lift this bench, is all I'm saying. But it is probably their heaviest bench. But you have to do that. And what I do, because I'm a single user, is I use this if I don't have somebody else, and I put this under the front, like so. And then I have to roll it back. So that's how I set it up in order to use it as a squat rack. And there's really no other way to bring it out. Like I said, you'd have to move it forward through the apparatus here or through the uprights, or you'd have to have somebody else help you. So that's kind of annoying. Let me show you the next part of it that Ghost kind of has over this, but they both have this feature, but Ghost version just works better. Okay, let's show you this again. So this area right here is, in order to move the Ghost uprights inwards. So let's say you're a bigger power lifter, or you're just a broader shouldered guy, or you don't have as much mobility in your arms. I can come up to here, put my hands in really close, and unrack this thing like this, and I can do my squats with my arms in close like this. It's only because I have good flexibility and I'm not too big, you know? There's this feature that both of them have where you can adjust this piece right here and tilt it in like that. Make sure that goes in. Let me do this side so you can see this side a little bit. So you just lift this piece up like this, and then this tilts in. Then you put it back down and it locks it in place. So now, if you're that bigger guy, you shouldn't use a bench bar for one. I should switch it out, but I'm not going to. You can put your arms on the outside, and then you can unrack the bar from the outside. If you're, you know, 6 foot, 1 million inches long, that's advantageous for that. So both of them have it. But if you notice on the Ghost one, which I'll show you from Jose once again, is that his is just like a little knob that you turn and it just turns in. Whereas this one is, it's a knob, and then you have to lift up this little piece here, push it in or out. It's heavy. And then you're locked back out. And then we'll do the other side again. You lift that up, push it out, and that locks back into place. So that's also the one thing that Ghost has over the Rogue One. And if that's worth it to you, again, the $3,000 difference, then you buy it. I would say that the Ghost one most likely can hold the same exact amount of weight because they're both weigh about the same. I think Ghost is 515, 16 pounds, and this is 505 pounds total weight. But the one thing that they do have on the website is they have the Mountain or Bjornsson holding like tons of weight, and it shows him using this specific rack, so you know that it'll hold anything. That is a comparison between the Ghost combo rack and the Rogue combo rack. As I've covered, most of the features are exactly the same. The couple advantages that the Ghost has is that the adjustments of this, if you're someone that needs to adjust it, the arms in or out is much easier. And moving the bench, I mean, that's a big deal for me. Like moving the bench and just lifting it up and rolling it out on wheels, that's a huge advantage for this. If you don't need those two features, I would say everything else is equal. The bench on the Ghost, I would say, is a little bit more sexy. Like it has like that cool logo on the side, and I think you can customize that logo. But it also has the little wood insert for this upright. But for the most part, everything else is exactly the same. But again, if you want that premium feel, the Ghost one definitely has the advantage over this. It also has the etched out plastic in the front that has the Ghost logos on it. So there are a lot of things that you are paying for that you get premium. But if you're just someone that's just trying to get in there and lift and have a power rack, this is a great option. I hope I covered everything. If you have questions about it, let me know down in the comments below. If you liked the video, like the video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so right now. We appreciate all of your help and all of your just supporting that. We are over 800 subs currently, trying to get to 1,000, and you can be part of that. Thank you for anybody else that has already subscribed, and we will see you in the next video.